This is Gus G of Firewind, and you're listening to That Metal Interview Podcast.
That Metal Interview.
Welcome back, boys and girls, thrashers, headbangers, metalheads, and all of the above. We welcome you once more to your favorite rock metal podcast, and mine, of course, which is also the fastest rising rock metal podcast on the globe, maybe. Anyway, so our next guest is the guitar virtuoso, awesome guitarist, Mr. Gus G, formerly of Ozzy Osbourne, the Ozzy Osbourne band, that is, and guitar player for Firewind, and of course for his solo project, Gus G. And he's here to talk about the band's Firewind's latest double live album by the title of Still Raging 20th Anniversary Show. It'll be out on September 1st. You guys can pick it up then. So if you guys are listening to this after September 1st, you guys have access to it. But right now we're going to check out a video and single from this double live album, Still Raging, a song by the title of Maniac, which is an old song, and this is a cover of Maniac. Check it out. This is Firewind. I'll be right back.
Like Saturday night in Thessaloniki, you want to dance with us? Get up! Just a steel town girl on a Saturday night. Thank you so much.
What an awesome cover. What an awesome version of Maniac. For those of you that remember that song from the 80s, very famous pop song Maniac. And this is the rock metal version of Maniac by Firewind. So you guys can stream that. You guys can find it on streaming services as we speak, as the album won't be out till September. The double live. Still raging. So anyways, Gus G speaks about that, and he just wrapped up a European tour, a solo European tour that is in support of his solo material. The last album he released was Quantum Leap back in 21. So anyways, he speaks about that. And anyways, let's check out the interview with the fabulous, awesome talent of Gus G. Check it out. Gus G, how you doing? This is James.
Hi, James. How you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. I'm over here in Texas, suffering in the heat.
Where in Texas are you?
A town by the name of Eagle Pass, about 2 hours from San Antonio.
Ah, nice. I've been to San Antonio, but not Inglewood, so...
Yeah, we did all the tours.
It's hot there, huh?
Yeah, it's horrible. How about there? How's the temperature there?
I'm in Greece, and it's getting pretty hot this week, yeah. It's getting up there, yeah. So, yeah, it's proper summer, tropical.
Yeah, very cool. First question, let's talk about your new album, Firewind, Still Raging, dropping September 1st, AFM Records. Talk to us about the record.
Yeah, it's a double live album, and primarily it's a Blu-ray release, so it's going to be a video.
Wow.
It's a Blu-ray plus 2 CD audio, double CD. And it's actually an anniversary concert that we played last year in our hometown, in my hometown here in Thessaloniki in Greece, to celebrate the band's 20th anniversary in discography. So, you know, there's a story behind this show. You know, we weren't originally planning to do this, to film this or record it for that matter. But this opportunity came up, and I ended up having the audio and the video, like a proper film crew, you know, like 10-camera film crew with cranes and the whole thing, you know.
Yeah.
So I was sitting for about a year on the material, and I put out a couple of videos on my YouTube channel, and then we decided with AFM Records to do this special release as a Blu-ray, because we, you know, about 15 years ago, you could still do DVDs, you know, but that market is dead. I mean, who buys DVDs?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Blu-ray. I don't even know who buys Blu-ray either, but I don't have a Blu-ray player. So,
right.
but I thought, you know, it's the first time we released that type of product. You know, we did a DVD back in 2008, and it's been a while, and so we thought we'd do the Blu-ray this time. And so it's like a double live album. Yeah.
So I play guitar. I have a local band here in Texas, and the first thing that comes to mind is coming up with the set list. What's the process there? Does everybody pitch in ideas? You know what? Let's start off with this song from this album, and how did that go?
Well, you know, for Firewind, we are a band that everybody lives in different countries. Like our drummer is in Spain, and our singer lives in Germany, and me and our bass player, we are in Greece. So we're not the kind of band that goes like every Thursday, like to the rehearsal room and play whatever, you know?
Yeah.
We just, like for us, rehearsals means pre-production before a world tour. So we will meet somewhere like for a week before a world tour begins, and we'll rehearse, you know, we'll pick out a set list, we'll make the set list, and we'll rehearse those songs, and then we'll keep playing them for like a year or two. And at this point, you know, we have like 9 studio records, so there's like some standard songs that live in the set list, and then there's like some new ones or some more obscure songs. And you know, believe me, for picking like an anniversary set list,
yeah,
it was hard because, I mean, what do you leave out and what do you? I mean, it's not like we have any hits or anything, but for the fans, the people that follow us and know our material,
yeah,
it's, you know, you will not be able to please everybody, you know, 9 albums in. So there was a few standard songs, and then we focused a little bit on the last record that we put out during the pandemic because we couldn't tour that. So we played a bunch of stuff from the latest record plus like a best stuff from the old one. That was it mainly.
Yeah. Well, there is a fan base for people that have first heard of Firewind today there is a fan base there, but in case people didn't know that. And so, speaking of albums, well, is there any plans to record a new one sometime in the future?
Oh yeah, we're actually recording it as we speak. Like we are. We tracked the drums a few months ago. Then we went on tour, and now this summer we're playing some festival shows. And in between festivals, we are all in our home studios recording the rest and mixing songs as we go. I think we are 3 songs away from getting it all together. So I think we have 7 or 8 tracks mixed and done, and I think there's like 3 more to go. So we're almost ready with a new album. I'm not sure of dates, of release dates and things like that, but I would think that like sometime this fall, winter, we're gonna start releasing singles and eventually announcing the album.
Oh wow, there you go, an exclusive. Thank you for that. Awesome. Do you have a working title for the album or not yet?
There is a good idea, but I can't really say too much about it right now.
Okay, that's right.
So yeah, but I always have like a bunch of titles in my head. But yeah, I think it's kind of pointless to say anything until it's like I've seen the final artwork, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get some more information from you.
Yeah. It's all good, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just being a fan. So, which is your favorite Firewind song to play live, Gus? There's too many.
That's a tough one. I mean, there's stuff that I really like playing the new one. We put out a single earlier this year, back in February, and it's going to be on the new album, on the upcoming album. The song is called "Destiny's Calling." That's our latest like material, the newest thing. So, at the moment, I'm really enjoying playing that one on stage.
What's your favorite part of touring?
Just I really appreciate the fact that I can travel, see the world. Even though I've been around the world many times, it still blows my mind that I have the chance to do it. So whenever I can get to another country and play, even if it's, it's not the first time or whatever, I'm very much into traveling and of course playing for the people. That's what we're there for. So that's what I love. I love those, 60 or 90 minutes up on stage playing.
Do you prefer to play clubs or festivals? Both.
Yeah, for different reasons, I would say. Sometimes festivals can be really not dangerous is not the word, but not dangerous, but kind of it can be a hit or miss, if you know what I mean, because you don't really get to sound check. You do like a quick line check, and the changeovers are fast, and there's festivals that really have it down. They have like really great professional crew, and they can work with our crew great. But then there's some festivals that you go to some countries and they don't speak English, and it's hard to communicate, so it can be a bit
right.
So I don't know, like some festivals, I don't know. Generally I enjoy doing both. Of course I like playing our own shows and clubs that you can control the environment a bit more in those situations in the indoors. But yeah, man, I like playing gigs. I don't care if it's like in front of like 200 people or like 1,000 people or 20,000 people. I don't care. I love playing.
Speaking of gigs, give us your best gig and your worst gig so far.
Okay. I've had many great gigs. I've been blessed to have played many great gigs. It's not like I can say, oh, that was the best one ever.
Yeah.
I mean, we have played many great gigs. There's nothing really I could
point out.
Say that stands out right now. Yeah. I mean, worst gigs, it's always like the ones where you'll have like technical issues. We just recently did a festival where my in-ear monitor mix was just total shit, and I just didn't enjoy the mix very much. I wouldn't say it was the worst gig of my life. I actually had fun in the end and found my way around it. I mean, one time on stage, now that I talk about it, I recall back in 2007 we did this festival, and it was next to a lake, and I think it was a bat. I think a bat attacked me on stage.
No way.
I remember this thing, man. I remember like playing, and I'm seeing this thing flying towards me, like coming really fast, and it was like a big fucking bug. I don't know what it was, and it had like this head or big head, and all of a sudden it just latched onto my shirt, and I felt like it was kind of like biting me or its claws on me. I think it was a bat because it was huge.
Wow.
And I mean, imagine, like, the band keeps playing. I kept playing, but I was like in panic mode, and I just like start screaming and go to the side of stage, and I'm yelling at my tech like, "Dude, get this thing off me! Get it off me!" And it's like, "What? I'm like, I don't know. Something's eating me up." So he started like smacking me on the t-shirt and stuff, and I think that the bat flew away because I think bats are blind, so they get blinded by lights and stuff. So.
Oh wow, that's horrible.
Yeah, that was I mean, like, looking back, it's kind of funny, but it was at the time, it was a bummer. It totally messed with my my performance and everything. It was like, what the hell is going on?
Oh, this is during a song.
It was during a song, man.
Oh wow!
And I mean, and I didn't stop playing. I just kept playing.
Your metal. that's dedication to your instrument. You don't stop playing.
The tales of rock and roll. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's a cool mishap. That's a little story there. Anything horrible, like falling through the stage or anything like that? Or falling off the stage?
No, thank God I have never fallen off stage. Never broken anything on stage. I mean, I've seen, you see things up on websites and news all the time, like, oh, Bruce Dickinson fell down, or Dave Grohl broke his leg, blah, blah, blah. Like, nothing like that has happened to me. And hopefully never will,
Yeah, real quick, out of all the artists that I interview, Bill Leverty of, you heard of Firehouse, right? Firehouse from the 80s.
Yeah, I know the band, yeah.
Yeah, Bill Leverty, he said, the guitar player said he fell through the stage. It was too dark, and half of his body fell through a hole, and one of his legs was in the hole, and the rest was out or something. So he injured his leg, and what a crazy story. Things happen, huh?
I mean, yeah. Because the thing is, like, you can get seriously injured. You can, like, hit your head, or you can break a leg, or you can, like, injure your back. And I mean, it's dangerous. And yeah, some stages are really dark, and that's why you see, like, nowadays a lot of them, they put this kind of lights all around the stage on the big arena shows, or in the smaller club gigs. They will put like this neon tape around it, so musicians don't fall off stage.
Right. So I spoke to Helena Cotina of Nervosa, and she gave praises and spoke very high of Blackfire pickups. Can you talk to us about the Blackfire pickups? How did that start?
Yeah. Blackfire pickups, that's like basically it's a side hustle of mine. It's like a side business that I have. It's a pickup company that I own, that I started about 2.5 or 3 years ago, I would say. Probably 3 years ago now. It really was out of necessity. I was endorsed by Seymour Duncan Pickups. I had my own signature pickup for about 10 years, and at some point I just wanted to experiment and do more stuff, and I decided I wasn't happy with some of the business things, and then I decided to do it myself. So I was working with some people in Korea from a factory, and they made me a bunch of prototypes, and we developed a couple of models. And the first guitars that I put them on was my signature Jackson guitars, and yeah, that was it basically. It's just like a small company. We're not it's just like a small boutique company, and I've sent a bunch of pickups to some of friends of mine that are guitar players in bands, and we're proudly endorsing also Helena. She's in Nervosa right now, and yeah. Awesome.
It's a growing company. Very cool. So
slowly, yeah.
Do you keep in touch with the Osbournes?
Not much really. I haven't talked to them for a while. So I mean, I see the news pop up every now and then from the updates they give out there. Because Ozzy has his own radio show, and he does these monthly interviews and talks about his health updates and things. But I haven't. I mean, there's like the occasional email with Sharon, like just like a Merry Christmas kind of thing, but nothing really much, beyond that.
Do you think you'll ever return to the stage?
It's hard to say. I just saw the news yesterday. He pulled out of the Power Trip Festival. On one hand, it's kind of, there's a part of me that says that it could be. I mean, he's been announcing and canceling and postponing gigs for like almost 5 years now.
Yeah.
So there's one part of me that sees that says that I don't know. But on the other hand, you never know when Ozzy strikes back, and I think he's a very, very strong guy, and I don't think he will ever probably do another world tour, but I think we will see him back up on that stage, even if that means just doing a one-off farewell thing to say goodbye to his fans.
I agree. Yep.
I don't know if he's gonna be sitting on some kind of throne or something. I don't think he's gonna be maybe running around like he used to. Maybe he'll be up on some, like I said, on some throne or some chair or something. But I think that we'll definitely see Oz back on stage sooner or later.
Awesome, I agree. Everyone knows you used to play for Ozzy, of course, for a while. Yeah. Which is your favorite Ozzy song for you to play live, Gus?
Oh man, I love playing Bark at the Moon. We used to open the shows with that, and that's one of my all-time favorite songs. I love Mr. Crowley, and I loved Shot in the Dark. I think those three were my favorites. And the Sabbath stuff, of course. I mean, come on.
Right, of course. Which was your the most difficult guitar player to emulate? There's Wild, there's Jakey Lee, there's Rhodes, Iommi. They're all different, huh?
Probably they're all different. I think the Iommi stuff, because it's just so there's a form to it, but at the same time it's very free form. The way he solos is just kind of like all over the place, but somehow it falls back into place, if you know what I mean. It's all very jammy and very, it's that 70s psychedelic stuff. I grew up with that, but that kind of vibe, it's a little bit away from the kind of like from the typical heavy metal, if you like, where the solo is constructed. I mean, like Randy Rhoads is the total opposite. He's a guy that would construct his solos, so there was like every part was a pre-written part. But Tony Iommi didn't function like that, didn't write solos like that or parts. So maybe some of that stuff was a bit more, not difficult, but a bit more tricky to play. But technically for me it was like, I wouldn't say it was easy, but it was totally doable for me to do it. Yeah.
Wow, how does it feel, Gus? I mean, you're one of the few guitar players that have been on stage with Ozzy. There's only a handful of guitar players out there, and you're one of them. How does that feel?
Man. I mean, that's insane. That's insane. I'm eternally grateful for that opportunity. It changed my life forever. It made me a better professional, a better musician, performer on stage, and I got to experience amazing things, on such a large scale, and play with one of the fathers of the creators of this music we call heavy metal. Even though I know he doesn't really like the term heavy metal, he keeps saying that.
Right.
But it's just mind blowing. It's just mind blowing. It's been it's been a career highlight, of course, for me, and it opened up many doors. And I will always be proud of carrying this title, flying the flag of representing Ozzy, being an Ozzy alumni. So
give us an update on your solo career, because what's going on there? Anything new coming up?
I'm not working on anything new right now because I'm so busy writing and recording the new Firewind. And that's probably most of the stuff that I'm going to be doing. But I just recently did a solo tour in Europe.
Yeah.
In May. And it was called Electric Guitar Land. So it was like
nice.
Imagine like a G3. It was a G4. It was 4 guitar players. It was me and Michelangelo Badio and Rowan Robertson, who you might remember from,
of course, Dio's
band. Yeah, and Andy Martingelli, a new guitarist from Italy. So it was the 4 of us touring in Europe, and it was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of laughs and great shows, and so I did that. And I'm hearing that I might go back out in Europe and do a couple of more weeks towards the end of the year, do a few more solo shows. But I haven't started working on anything new yet, because next year I'm going to be releasing Firewind album and then World Tour after that. So next year is going to be probably all Firewind.
Very cool. You just said World Tour. Do you mean like the Firewind, or do you mean like that G4 package?
No, I mean the Firewind for the Firewind album. Yeah, so there is going to be a Firewind World Tour.
Awesome! Wow.
I mean, at least when I say World Tour, I don't know where else, but definitely Europe, UK, and America. So these are the territories we're working on right now. But hopefully, Japan or something. That would be nice.
Very cool. How about that package deal you did with the G4?
Oh, that kind of thing. Yeah, you mean?
We will see that here.
I mean, I don't know yet.
That's a cool package right there. Very cool. Yeah, very cool package.
I think that would have been a good thing to do in America, but it's also a little bit up to the agents and the promoters and see if there's any interest for that kind of thing. I don't know, but maybe we should try and get that over in the States, because it did really well here in Europe. And I know it probably could do even better in the States, because it's people love guitar shows and guitar players and all that. So
yeah,
let's see.
For sure. But here's a different question. When you write a riff, a brand new riff, it pops in your head, how do you know if it's for Firewind or it's for your solo album? How do you distinguish that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't really know in the beginning. I just compile riffs in my computer. That's how I do it. So just compile stuff, and I put it, I make like quick demos or something, and then eventually I revisit them after a while, and that's when I sort of make my mind up if it's going to be a Firewind thing or a solo thing. It really depends on the sound, the tone. Like if it's something that sounds more traditional metal, then it's probably going to end up on a Firewind record. And if it's something more experimental, maybe something like it's a more guitar-oriented thing, like a something that could be an instrumental, or something more, I don't know, alternative rock or whatever, something else other than classic metals, then that might end up on a solo record.
Can you give us a quick rig rundown for the guitar players asking?
Rig rundown? I mean, you mean what's on my rig right now?
Yeah, what are you using live or studio?
Yeah, live I use a Blackfire St. James amp. It's a brand new amp. It's a 50 watt head. It's tiny. It's like a lunchbox type of amp, and sounds massive. I play that, and that's the main tone for me. And I have a small pedal board that I use that basically has 3 pedals on there, or 4, like a tuner. I use an overdrive by J Rocket Designs. It's called the Archer. So I use it to boost my signal, my distortion, and that's the core of my tone. And then I use like a delay pedal and a wah pedal, only wah. And as far as guitars goes, I use my Jackson Signature Star guitar, and that's about it. I have a very simple rig, and in the studio, I mean, I mainly run my signal and I use plugins, just straight into the interface, and I just use plugins. I don't have anything fancy, I mean, I think pretty much all guitar players nowadays use plugins because they're just so good and so convenient to record quickly and make a good sound. Yeah,
very cool. That's not very complicated. That tells you it's about the person holding the instrument, right? It's not about how many toes you have, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, to each his own. Everybody has different things and different styles and different needs for their tone. But I'm a very simple kind of guy. Like I have a main distortion sound and I just like a little bit of delay. So I don't really put too much effects on my sound. It's pretty clean, I would say.
Yeah, if I hand you a guitar, it's gonna sound like Gus for sure, because that's what you're playing.
Oh yeah. It'll sound like me, whatever guitar, whatever rig I play through. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's the whole point. That you're able to sound like you through whatever you have. But of course, having good gear, it helps, and it's
toys.
Important too.
A couple of toys. Yeah, I saw an interview with Ted Nugent. I saw it on YouTube, and he said he was backstage with Eddie Van Halen, and they traded guitars backstage. And Ted goes, he said, I played Eddie's guitar, and it did not sound like Eddie. He said it sounded like me.
Of course.
And then and Eddie played my guitar, he said, and it didn't sound like Ted Nugent stuff. It sounded like Eddie on my guitar. So that tells you, right? It's in the person, right? Whatever you're holding. And
oh yeah, the guitar is not gonna play itself and it sounds like the person that owns the guitar. It's a little bit of a myth, I mean, I remember like when I was a kid that I used to look at Joe Satriani's guitar, and I picked it up and I was like, wow, it must have that Satriani tone. And then like I picked it up and it definitely didn't sound like Joe Satriani, but it's like only he can sound like him. So yeah, I mean, the sound, the tone comes from within, from your fingers. It's it's how you touch the guitar, because it's a piece of wood and metal and the strings and stuff like that, but it's how you approach, how you pick, all the like I said, it's something that comes from within, like the feeling that you put on your playing, and so that's something very personal, like a vibrato, or how you express yourself with the instrument. The tone might change, if you play with less gain or more gain or whatever, this tube on this or whatever, that stuff, it will give you a different color, but the core and of the sound and the style and the expression it comes from within. Yeah.
Before we let you go, Gus, would you like to send a message to your fans listening to this podcast?
Yeah, man. I want to thank everybody for the support through the years. And for listening to this interview, and for for buying records or whatever it is, and listening to Firewind or my solo stuff. And can't wait to be back in America next year and see you all in person and play for you.
Awesome. Thank you for making time, Gus. And for people listening, pick up the double live album, Still Raging, right? It'll drop on September 1st. And support Firewind and buy merchandise, right? So thank you, Gus, for making time, and hopefully see you in Texas soon.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Have a good one there.
What an honor for me to speak to one of a handful of guitar players who played with Ozzy Osbourne and recorded with Ozzy Osbourne. Isn't that a feat? Isn't that an accomplishment in itself? So congrats to Gus G for being one of very, very few chosen guitar players out there to have shared the stage with the father of metal, who also was Ozzy was a part of Black Sabbath, as we all know, back in the 70s, the godfathers of metal. Anyways, so thank you, Gus G. Thank you for coming out and being a part of the program. We truly appreciate your effort and your time. And thank you for correcting. I had a little bit misinformation on the album, but the album is called Still Raging 20th Anniversary Show. Still Raging is because they're still raging. Firewind, that is. So support Firewind on their socials. A great band, great sound, and a great compilation of badass jams. They're live, of course, celebrating their 20th anniversary. So thank you guys for supporting your favorite podcast and my favorite podcast, That Metal Interview, audio version or video version. Check it out. So subscribe, and don't forget to like us, share, download, and blah blah blah. So anyways, don't forget to keep it metal.
That Metal Interview.